We are stepping into a message that someone out there truly needs to hear. You have been fighting quiet battles, holding pain that nobody notices, and dealing with people who believed they could treat your spirit like it had no worth. But listen to me carefully. God has been watching, God has been preparing, and God is about to turn the narcissist's entire world upside down. This is your time, your awareness, your rise. Welcome back to another motivational message. Today, I want you to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and sit with this truth. You are not here by mistake. You did not open this message by accident. You are here because God has been preparing something specifically for you. A message that arrives at the exact moment your soul needs it the most. And I am telling you right now, pay close attention because what you are about to hear is not just encouragement, it is revelation. You have been walking through darkness, through uncertainty, through emotional storms that nobody else fully understands. You have been carrying pressure on your chest, questions in your mind, and wounds in your heart that you never asked for. You have been dealing with people, especially narcissistic people, who believe they could twist your emotions, bend your reality, drain your energy, and make you feel small. People who treated your kindness like it was a weakness. People who took your loyalty and tried to turn it into a cage. But hear this. Clearly, God has seen everything the whole time. Every tear you cried, every moment you doubted yourself, every night you replayed conversations asking, was it my fault? Did I deserve this? Should I have done more? No, you did not deserve that. You did not earn that pain. You did not invite that manipulation. And the fact that you are still here, still breathing, still moving forward, still trying, proves how strong you are, even in moments when you felt weak. Narcissists believe they control the story. They believe their lies are powerful enough to replace truth. They believe their pride can silence your inner voice. They believe their charm can fool everyone and leave you questioning your own reality. But God is the author of truth, not them. God sees behind closed doors, behind false smiles, behind hidden plans and secret schemes. And when God steps in, when God says enough, everything changes in an instant. You thought you were walking through a losing season, but God was writing a turning point. You thought you were falling behind, but God was setting up a reversal. You thought the narcissist was getting away with everything, but God was allowing them to build their own downfall. God never ignores manipulation. God never overlooks cruelty. And God never allows his children to be crushed without raising them stronger afterward. You need to understand this. Your silence was not weakness. Your distance was not fear. Your quiet healing was not failure. Stepping back, refusing to argue, choosing peace over conflict, that was not giving up. That was God removing you from a fight he planned to handle for you. Some battles are not meant to be fought with words or actions. Some battles are spiritual. Some battles happen in places you cannot see. And God said, stand still and watch what I will do. You were not forgotten. You were shielded. You were not pushed aside. You were redirected. Every time the narcissist tried to tear you down, God was strengthening you. Every time they tried to confuse you, God was clearing your vision. Every time they tried to empty you, God was refilling you. This season you are entering now, this shift you are feeling, is where God takes everything that was done in secret and brings it into the open. This is the season where masks fall, lies crumble, truth stands tall, and God exposes what was hidden, reveals what was disguised, and corrects what was ignored. You may not fully see it yet, but the change has already started. God is turning things around. God is rewriting the story. God is shaking the ground beneath the one who thought they could misuse you and walk away without consequence. And the strongest part of all this is that you do not have to do anything. You do not need revenge. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to explain your pain. God is your defense. God is your proof. God is your witness. God is your restoration. You lived through what was meant to destroy you. That alone shows that God has plans for you that no narcissist can stop. You grew quietly. You healed privately. You rebuilt yourself piece by piece while no one saw your struggle. And God is about to honor that. God is about to lift that. God is about to bless that. There is a moment, an appointed time, when God says now. And for you, that moment is drawing close. When God flips their world upside down, He raises yours higher. When God exposes them, He reveals you. When God removes them, He restores you. So listen closely. Your story is not finished. Your heart is not broken beyond repair. Your future is not damaged. You are stepping into a season where your peace comes back, your strength increases, your understanding becomes sharper, and your spirit rises again. And the narcissist who once believed they controlled your life is about to realize that God was in control the entire time. There is something else you need to know. There comes a point when God does not only heal you from what happened, He teaches you through it. He turns pain into awareness. He turns heartbreak into wisdom. He turns confusion into understanding. You begin to see people more clearly. You start hearing intentions beneath words. You recognize manipulation before it reaches your heart. That is not damage. That is discernment. That is the gift God gives to survivors. That is the vision He gives to those who walked through fire and came out carrying light. The narcissists believed they were teaching you how to doubt yourself, how to lower your value, how to accept less. But God reversed it. God used their chaos to draw you closer to Him. He used their lies to sharpen your intuition. He used their betrayal to strengthen your boundaries. They thought they were breaking you, but God was shaping a version of you that fear cannot control, lies cannot confuse, and games cannot manipulate. You became wiser, stronger, gentle in spirit, yet firm in truth. You became someone who can sense dishonesty before it speaks, someone who notices danger before it shows itself, someone who is no longer impressed by charm but grounded in truth. That is what growth looks like after pain. That is what transformation looks like when God's hand is on you. And the narcissist cannot handle that. They cannot accept that you healed. They cannot tolerate that you rose. They cannot stand that the version of you they tried to destroy became the strongest version you have ever known. Make no mistake about this. God's justice does not arrive quietly. When God decides to move, He shifts the atmosphere. He rearranges everything. He lifts what was pushed down and brings down what was standing on lies. The narcissist's world, built on deception, supported by ego, held together by false confidence, is about to shake. Anything not built on truth cannot stand when God intervenes. Anything rooted in manipulation cannot survive when God applies pressure. And that pressure is coming. It is the moment when their charm stops working, when people stop believing them, when their stories stop matching, when their mask falls at the worst possible time. While they struggle to hold the illusion together, God is lifting you quietly, steadily, peacefully. The same peace they tried to steal from you is the peace God is restoring, multiplied, and overflowing. But understand this, your rise begins inside. It begins when you realize that your value was never based on how someone treated you. It was never dependent on their approval. It was never tied to their validation. You were valuable before they noticed you. You were chosen before they tried to reduce you. You were protected even when you felt alone. And you were destined even when they tried to distract you from your purpose. When God turns their world upside down, you may not even see it because God is not trying to entertain you. He is trying to elevate you. He wants to move you forward, not pull you backward. He wants to grow you, not keep you stuck watching consequences unfold. Justice will come. Truth will rise. Consequences will land exactly where they should. But your job is not to watch the fall. Your job is to rise. Rise into your purpose. Rise into your peace. Rise into your true identity. Rise into the version of yourself that the narcissist never wanted you to find. People who try to reduce you do it because they sense your strength. They notice your potential. They feel your light. Narcissists do not attack weak people. They target strong ones. They drain generous hearts. They manipulate loyal souls. They use compassionate people because those are the qualities they do not have. Your heart frightened them. Your integrity exposed them. Your spirit unsettled them. Your resilience bothered them. You reflected what they could never become. And instead of growing, they tried to destroy what they could not equal. But here is the truth. You were never unprotected. You were chosen. You were covered. You were guided. And you were never alone. God walked with you through every silent night, every tear-filled prayer, every moment you questioned your strength. And He is still walking with you now, leading you into a season of peace, clarity, and restoration that no one can take away. And now God is guiding you into a new chapter where everything that was taken is restored. Everything that was confusing becomes clear. Everything that was broken is rebuilt stronger than before. The narcissist world is shifting because God is removing the obstacles in your life. God is opening the way. God is lifting the burdens. God is severing connections you were too loyal to cut yourself. God is closing doors you were too compassionate to shut. God is ending cycles you were too hopeful to walk away from. And God is doing for you what you could never do for yourself. He is protecting your future from the very person who endangered your peace. This next chapter of your life will not look like the pain you endured. It will not resemble the chaos you survived. It will not echo the confusion you navigated. This next season is where your confidence returns, your glow comes back, your mind sharpens, your spirit steadies, and your heart becomes whole. This is where you step into alignment, into purpose, into clarity, into power, because God is not just shaking their world, He is elevating yours. Listen carefully because this is the part that changes everything. The truth is, the narcissist never really had power over you. They only had the illusion of it. They thrived on fear, doubt, and insecurity. None of that was your fault. You were not weak. You were not naive. You were human. And being human meant that sometimes you felt their attacks more than you should have. You absorbed their lies more than you deserved. You carried their manipulation on your shoulders like it was yours to hold. But here is the truth. Responsibility does not belong to the person who tried to control you. It belongs to God, and God has been orchestrating a plan all along. While they were busy thinking they were building a kingdom of control, God was building a fortress around you. The walls of that fortress aren't made of flesh or stone. They are built from resilience, faith, wisdom, and divine protection. Every time the narcissist tried to undermine you, God strengthened your armor. Every time they tried to shame you, God renewed your confidence. Every time they tried to drain your energy, God replenished it. That is the power of a God-led life. The narcissist may have been loud, but God was silent. They may have been bold, but God was patient. They may have thought they were winning, but God always had the final say. And now the moment has come. The moment where God flips the table completely. The moment where the narcissist's lies start to unravel. The moment where their charm collapses under the weight of truth. The moment where every secret plan they made in darkness begins to fall apart in the light of divine justice. And you, standing on the other side, won't have to lift a finger because God is faithful and his timing is flawless. You may wonder how long it will take. You may ask, when will they finally get what they deserve? When will balance be restored? Here's the answer. God moves in his own perfect timing, and his timing is not your struggle. You don't have to orchestrate their fall. You don't have to seek revenge. You don't have to waste energy trying to explain yourself or prove your worth. You only need to trust, move forward, and let God work. The beauty of divine justice is that it never misses. It doesn't delay unnecessarily. And it is far more satisfying than anything you could imagine. Meanwhile, while God arranges their downfall, you are rising. Every tear you cried is turning into clarity. Every sleepless night is being replaced with peace. Every doubt you carried is transforming into confidence. Every scar, every wound, every betrayal is becoming a testimony that cannot be erased, ignored, or denied. That is your power. That is your victory. That is proof that you are walking in alignment with God's plan. Narcissists can only operate in chaos. They can only manipulate when fear, uncertainty, and control exist. But when you step into God's protection, when you rise in his strength, when you align with his truth, chaos no longer touches you. Their manipulation bounces off. Their lies cannot penetrate. Their games fail. They realize too late that everything built on deceit and ego was never strong enough to withstand God's hand. And while they scramble, panic, and struggle to maintain their facade, you walk away in peace. You walk away knowing God has everything under control. You walk away knowing the person who tried to dim your light is about to be exposed. You walk away knowing the very world they tried to manipulate will witness their collapse. You walk away knowing your life, spirit, and destiny are intact and stronger than ever. Remember this, God does not flip the narcissist's world for revenge. He does it for restoration. He does it to protect your energy, your peace, and your joy. He does it so you can fully step into your purpose without distraction, toxicity, or manipulation. He does it so you can live freely in alignment with your calling. That is the beauty of divine intervention. It is not cruel, it is just. It is not petty, it is purposeful. And it is always on time. You may feel impatient now. You may wonder why it hasn't happened yet. But timing is not delay. Timing is preparation. Timing ensures the lesson lands, the revelation comes, and the outcome is perfect. Every moment you waited, every trial you endured, every heartache you survived was preparing you for this. When it arrives, you will see that every second of patience, every ounce of faith, every act of restraint was worth it. When the narcissist's world finally flips, it will not be your doing. You won't have to convince anyone. You won't have to explain the truth. You won't have to justify yourself. God will reveal what needs to be revealed. God will expose what needs to be exposed. God will rearrange the pieces in a way that leaves the manipulator with no choice but to face the consequences of their actions. In that moment, you will see clearly that you were never the problem, never at fault, and never powerless. Rise above the manipulation, rise above the doubt, rise above the pain, rise above the lies. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just healing, you are ascending. You are not just witnessing God's justice, you are living it through your peace, your power, and your restoration. The narcissist thought they could break you, but God had other plans. They thought they could control your story, but God was writing the ending. They thought they could dim your light, but God ignited it brighter than ever before. And now, as they scramble, as their world flips, as truth and justice rise, you stand on higher ground, untouchable, unshakable, and fully aligned with the one who never fails. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your rise. The narcissist, God will handle them. You just keep walking, keep trusting, and keep shining. Take a deep breath and listen closely. Nothing you endured has been wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you questioned your worth, God used to shape your character, strengthen your spirit, and prepare you for a peace and power the narcissist could never imagine. And the most beautiful part, you don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to strategize. You don't have to fight back. God is moving and his timing is perfect. The narcissist may still think they have control, that their games are working. But the reality is they are building their own prison. They are sowing seeds that will sprout consequences in ways they cannot predict. Every lie, every act of manipulation, every betrayal they thought they were winning will turn against them. God has a way of taking every plan born from ego, pride, and cruelty and turning it back on the one who created it. And you are free from all of it. They are trapped in their own chaos while you rise in freedom. God does not flip the narcissist's world just for punishment. He does it to restore balance, bring clarity, deliver justice, and lift his children. Every time they tried to drag you down, God was building you up. Every time they tried to confuse you, God revealed truth. Every time they tried to steal your peace, God returned it tenfold. Now the stage is set for divine restoration. The pieces are falling into place. The dominoes are tipping. You've been through fire, and fire purifies. You've been through storms, and storms strengthen your roots. You've been through betrayal, and betrayal sharpens discernment. You've been through pain, and pain revealed the depth of your resilience. And God, in perfect timing, is about to turn all of that into triumph. The narcissist's plans are starting to fall apart, but your life is beginning to open up. Their false stories are coming to light, but your truth is about to shine stronger than ever before. Their confusion and disorder will be exposed for what it truly is, while your calm and stability will remain firm. Understand this clearly. The narcissist survives on control, fear, pressure, and intimidation. But when you align yourself with God, you step outside of their system completely. You stop participating in their games. You stop reacting to their chaos. You stop giving them space in your thoughts and energy in your spirit. And that is when everything changes. That is the moment God says, now is the time. That is when balance shifts. That is when their false image starts to crack and the truth of their actions becomes impossible to ignore. You may feel tempted to watch closely, to wait, to hope their downfall happens in a certain way, but that is not your responsibility. You were never meant to manage justice. Your responsibility is to live aligned with God, to walk in purpose, to respect your path, and to trust Him with the outcome. Divine justice does not fail. It does not overlook. It does not depend on your effort to work. God sees everything. God understands everything. and God moves at the right time. Your growth will be quiet, but it will be clear. You will not need to announce it. You will not need to defend it. You will not need to explain yourself. Your peace will speak louder than their lies ever could. Your calm confidence will overpower their attempts to control. Your clarity will uncover their deception, and your joy will stand as proof that God has walked with you through every step. Remember this truth deeply. The narcissists believed they could write your story, but God always held the final chapter. They thought they could direct your life, but God has been guiding your steps the entire time. They tried to dim your light, yet God has been turning it into a fire that cannot be put out. Every attempt to weaken you only confirmed how powerful you would become when aligned with God's strength. Every obstacle they placed in your way was preparing you for the breakthrough that is now drawing closer. Never underestimate patience or persistence. Every moment you chose honesty, every moment you refused to abandon your values, every moment you held on to faith instead of bitterness, it all matters. None of it was wasted. All of it has been shaping what is now unfolding. You may not see it yet, but justice is moving quietly behind the scenes. You may not feel it yet, but change is already in motion. You may not hear it yet, but truth is traveling toward the surface. And when it arrives, it will be impossible to deny. When that moment comes, you will look back and realize every tear planted a seed, every pain prepared you, every betrayal taught you, and every quiet prayer kept you alive. You will finally understand that God was working even when you felt forgotten. You will see clearly that the narcissist's control was never real. It was an illusion, and God has been slowly breaking it apart all along. You will rise healed and free while they face the results of their own choices. So rise now. Rise with confidence. Rise with intention. Rise with understanding. Rise with peace. Rise knowing that the person who tried to twist your thoughts, control your emotions, and weaken your spirit is about to witness a strength they could never reach. Rise knowing that God is turning their world upside down, not only for accountability, but for your healing. Rise knowing that your future, your joy, and your peace cannot be touched when God stands with you. As you rise, hold on to this truth. Your story is not shaped by their lies. Your life is not written by their manipulation. Your story is written by God, guided by purpose, and lit by truth. Every chapter, every sentence, every moment has been leading you to this point of clarity, victory, and peace. And when the narcissist's world finally collapses, you will still be standing, steady, strong, and victorious, fully aligned with the one who never fails. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your rising. The narcissist may have tried to control your life, but God is now fully in control. When everything settles, your victory will be clear. Your peace will be solid. Your spirit will shine brighter than it ever has. You survived, you matured, you rose, and now God is completing the work He began within you. True growth is not impressed by charm or appearances. It is rooted in truth. That is what healing looks like after deep pain. That is what transformation looks like when God's hand is guiding you. And the narcissist cannot tolerate that reality. They cannot accept that you stood back up. They cannot handle that you healed. They cannot stand that the version of you they tried to destroy became the strongest version you have ever known. But hear this clearly. God's justice does not arrive quietly. When God steps in, the atmosphere shifts. He changes the order. He turns upside down what was falsely elevated and exposes what pretended to stand tall. The narcissist's world, built on lies, inflated pride, and false confidence, is beginning to shake. Anything not grounded in truth cannot stand against God. Anything formed through manipulation cannot survive his breath. Anything built on ego collapses when divine pressure is applied. And that pressure is approaching. It is the moment their charm stops working, the moment people stop believing their words, the moment their stories stop matching, the moment their masks fall when they need them most. While they struggle to keep the illusion alive, God is lifting you quietly, steadily, and peacefully. The same peace they tried to take from you is being restored, multiplied, and strengthened beyond measure. Understand this deeply. Your rising begins inside your heart. It starts when you realize your value was never determined by how someone treated you. It was never connected to their approval. It was never dependent on their validation. You were worthy before they noticed you. You were chosen before they tried to diminish you. You were protected even when you did not feel safe. You were destined even when they tried to distract you from your calling. When God flips their world, you will not even need to watch it happen. God is not trying to entertain you. He is trying to elevate you. He is focused on moving you forward, not pulling you backward. He wants growth, not distraction. Yes, justice will come. Yes, truth will surface. Yes, consequences will land exactly where they belong. But your role is not to observe their fall. Your role is to rise. Rise into your calling. Rise into peace. Rise into your true identity. Rise into the version of yourself the narcissist never wanted you to discover. People who try to make you feel small do so because they sense your strength. They recognize your potential. They feel your light. Narcissists do not target the weak. They target the strong. They drain the kind. They manipulate the loyal. They attack the compassionate because those qualities expose what they lack. Your heart frightened them. Your honesty revealed them. Your spirit unsettled them. Your endurance irritated them. You reflected what they could never become. Instead of growing, they tried to destroy what they could not match. But the truth remains. You were never unprotected. You were chosen. You were covered. You were guided. God walked beside you through every quiet night, every tear-filled prayer, every moment you questioned your strength. Now God is leading you into a new season where what was taken is restored, what was confusing becomes clear, and what was broken is rebuilt stronger than before. The narcissist world is changing because God is removing obstacles from your life. He is clearing your path. He is lifting burdens. He is cutting ties you were too loyal to release. He is closing doors you were too compassionate to shut. He is ending cycles you hoped would change. God is doing for you what you could not do for yourself, protecting your future from the very person who threatened your peace. The next season of your life will not resemble the pain you survived. It will not mirror the chaos you endured. It will not carry the confusion you once lived in. This next season is where your confidence returns. Your light comes back, your mind sharpens, your spirit steadies, and your heart becomes whole. This is where alignment happens. This is where clarity lives. This is where power grows. God is not only changing their world, He is elevating yours. Hear this final truth clearly. The narcissist never truly had power over you. They only held the illusion of it. They thrived on fear and doubt, but that was never your failure. You were not weak. You were not foolish. You were human. And being human meant you felt deeply. You absorbed pain you never deserved. You carried manipulation that was never yours to hold. And now God is lifting that weight. restoring your strength and leading you forward into freedom.